Welcome to the Twisted Pint Tavern. Today we're visiting r/DnD to answer, D&D players of Reddit, what is the reason for your character to go adventuring or explore the world? I would love to hear about why your characters are adventuring, so let me know about your tragic or awesome backstory in the comments. My character's name is Ranny. She's a paladin. Her husband was an adventuring hero. Unfortunately, he lost his life attempting to kill a certain vampire. She takes up his identity and his armor, not wanting the world to lose a hero. She takes off on a quest for revenge, but has no combat experience. It quickly became obvious she wasn't who she said she was, and now the other members of our party are helping her come to her own and see her quest to the end. We're running Curse of Strahd. I kind of picked up on the Strahd thing when you said a certain vampire, but I love this backstory. Like, it's so cool. It's got the emotional tie, and it just explains the character so well. I'm playing a retired Halfling Paladin whose children became adventurers, but recently they stopped riding home. So she decided the only reasonable option was to set out and look for them. And what better way to find adventurers than by going on adventures herself? Again, another really good one with a good emotional tie-in that's not just simply, oh, my parents died. Like this has you going out for a reason. I was shoved through a portal in time by my mentor and told to save reality as she was skewered and died. I guess I just trust her. You know, I feel that. I feel like that's worth trusting. Felina Starblood, a sorceress bard half-elf. Her mother was a traveling bard who got obsessed with the Underdark. A drow noblewoman took an interest in her and she became a part of her court. Her father was a slave of the noblewoman. The two fell in love and Felina's mother became pregnant. When the noblewoman found out, she gave my mother two options: die, or if she watched them torture my father to death and never reacted, she could leave but never return. She succeeded and raised my character on the surface. She has her mother's pale skin due to frost dragon heritage that became her sorceress power source, and her father's white hair. All she has of him is his viol. But the drow noblewoman became an aunt to my character, and she spent her childhood going back and forth from the surface to the Underdark. Nowadays, she uses magic to enhance her performances greatly. One of her dazzling light shows led to her meeting a handsome cleric. Turns out the handsome cleric had a vision from his goddess, Ilana, that had me and our friends fighting side by side against a great shadow demon. Felina decided, why the hell not? So she's following around the super hot cleric who keeps the tiny dragon Disco Inferno safe. And thankfully, he wants to save the world, so she will too. Cause why not, LOL. I feel like all of these amazing backstories do typically boil down to, cause why not, LOL. But the foundation just really catapults your character forward. Zucchina, Kina for short, race tiefling, class battle mage, using a spear and spells. Kina grew up in a small village with very few travelers. Her parents told her the world hates their kind and not to venture out. The day before her 18th birthday, she comes home from work at the local bookshop to find her parents murdered and a demon standing over their bodies with blood and flesh still dripping from its teeth and claws. It turns to Kina and whispers in the infernal language, "Seek me out, grow strong and find me. You know not of your lineage, soon you will." The demon then sprouts wings at least 6 meters across and launches off the ground, breaking through the thatched ceiling of the small house, laughing as it flies away. Kina knew in that moment, she in fact knew nothing. His name's G.A.R.T.H, short for Galactic Armed Resistance and Tactics Hosts. He was created by the Brondas Corporation, homebrew storyline we use in a campaign, as an anti-terror machine. On one deployment, G.A.R.T.H was shot and had an AI malfunction. Now he's got the mindset of a hippie surfer who just wants to have a good time. He's an artificer Warforged. The whole reason he adventures is to look for good times and bad people. I love G.A.R.T.H. I want G.A.R.T.H in my campaign. Erin, half-elf, Oath of the Dragon Lord's Paladin. She's traveling through Thylia and the surrounding islands trying to find her family that was kidnapped by Lutheria. Problem is, she's the only person who remembers that they exist, or who she even is, or that she's destined to ascend to the throne of Mitros. She's one of the oracles chosen to bring down the Titans Lutheria and Sidon before the 500-year-old Oath of Peace expires and the Titans exact their vengeance upon the people of Thylia. Oh, and she has a silver dragon wormling, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's only a little cool to have a pet baby dragon. Niall, the formerly human changeling bard source, okay. Niall formerly used to be a skilled whisper bard working as your average agent for whoever paid the highest. However, he never expected what his future would hold. While trying to acquire some intel for a job, he was captured. However, the worst was yet to come for poor Niall, as rather than waste their time trying to torture information out of him, they decided that they would rather forge him into a tool for their own use. Thus, Niall was experimented on with processes such as transmogrification and flesh crafting, that would break other men but only steel his resolve to get revenge after all was done. Upon turning him into the weapon they wanted, they fitted him with some kind of controlling spell that led him to be their assassin for a short time before he was freed from his servitude by a kindly mage. Now what drives Niall to adventure is his quest for revenge against those who stole his humanity from him. I like this. It's very Winter Soldiery to me, but not in a bad way. Like that's a cool foundation for a character. Shadow Sorcerer Assimar wanting to accumulate power and get rid of his angel so that he can eventually become a Dark Lord like Strahd and create a reign of terror, fear, and suffering. He enjoys the knowledge he caused long-term pain and suffering for someone, evil as heck, but subtle and charismatic. I'm gonna pull you guys close for this one, okay? If you are creating a reign of terror, fear, and suffering, I would not call that subtle. All right, let's see. Which one of my characters do I go with? I think I'll do my Plague Doctor Cleric. He was fascinated with science and medicine, and after studying it a bit on his own, he went to a prestigious academy that went over everything from simple skills to magic. He picked up a few things there, but was overall disappointed with the education they were providing in the medicine and healing field. He continued to study it on his own after classes, but in doing so, his grades started to decline. He ended up flunking his first year and dropping out, and then when he returned home, he found out that a plague had set in the area and a lot of his friends and family were either dead or severely sick. So he put all of his private study knowledge into fixing this, and after a while, made a cure for the plague. This success earned him the attention of his deity, and they made a deal. He would get clerical powers, and in exchange, travel the world treating people and curing diseases, just like he'd done in his hometown. And that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That way you can catch more amazing stories as soon as they come out. We upload every Tuesday and Friday, so make sure to come on by, and I'll see you in the next one.